India votes like a democracy, but a major global dataset says something changed in 2018. What exactly? Hey, this is Harrison. In 5 minutes, here's what the V Dem data is actually saying. India is the world's largest voting democracy. But one major global democracy project, V Dem, has classified India as an electoral autocracy since 2018. So what does that actually mean? And what exactly are the measuring? Quick note, this video isn't telling you what to think politically. It's an explainer what V Dem is, how it scores democracies, why reach that label for India, and why some people disagree. V Dem stands for Varieties of Democracy. It's based at the University of Gothenburg, and it builds a large multidimensional dataset to measure democracy beyond just whether elections happen. The reason people cite V Dem is that it doesn't rely on a single score. It breaks democracy into multiple principles and indicators. V Dem treats democracy like a system with layers. It separates it into 5 big principles: electoral liberate liberal, participatory deliberative, and egalitarian. So even if a country votes regularly, the dataset asks other questions too, like rights protections, checks and balances, participation, and whether public debates is free and fair. In V Dem democracy report framing, India drops from electoral democracy to electoral autocracy around 2018 and remains in that category through the end of 2023. Now, that label sounds extreme, so let's translate it clearly. V Dem's idea is that elections can still happen, but the environment around elections and rights may no longer meet their minimum standards for an electoral democracy. V Dem basically uses categories, from liberal democracy to electoral democracy to electoral autocracy to closed autocracy. Electoral autocracy is not the same as no elections. It's categories saying elections exist, but key conditions like freedoms, fairness, and constraints on power are considered seriously weakened in the measurement. V Dem's reports tie this kind of downgrade to multiple areas, especially freedom of expression, media environment, civil society space, rule of law, and limits on executive power. And importantly, V Dem is not saying one single event caused it. Its framing is gradual change across multiple indicators. Now here's where the debate matters. Critics of the backsliding narrative point out that India still has real political competition, large-scale elections, and active institutions, and they argue global frameworks may miss local complexity. Supporters of V Dem's assessment argue that consistent declines across multiple indicators and alignment with other international indices signal real erosion that shouldn't be dismissed. Even if you never read a democracy report, the underlying issues matter because they touch daily life. Can people criticize power safely? Can media investigate freely? Do institutions hold leaders accountable? And do citizens get equal treatment under law? That's why these indices become part of global conversations, because they connect democratic health to lived experience. Context helps. V Dem compares countries across the world, so India's position is shown relative to others rather than in isolation. Take this as a snapshot, useful for trends, not as the final word on a country. So here's the takeaway. V Dem is one of the most detailed democracy datasets, and its classification of India is a warning-style assessment, not a courtroom verdict. If you want, I'll do a follow-up video breaking down the 5 democracy dimensions with simple, real-world examples. Comment Part 2 and tell me which dimension matters most to you. Thank you for watching.